Hey guys, and welcome to Order of Battle World War II with me, Time and Tactics. Slitherine was nice enough to give me a copy of the latest DLC that I thought we'd check out here. The game is set in, well, World War II, obviously, and with the latest expansion, we take control of the Allies. So let's go ahead and check that out. So as you can see, there's a lot of different campaigns here. The one we're going to try out is the Allies Defiant. It's the first in a set of 3, a trilogy. And the good thing about the game, well, one of the good things about the game is that as you progress through the scenarios, you can carry your units forward, your core units, throughout the campaign. And then also you can transfer them to the next campaign here. So let's go ahead and check that out. Allies Defiant. After the fall of Poland and the rather quiet phony war, British and German ground forces clash in Norway for the first time in World War II. Following the Allied failures to stop German advances in the West, the United Kingdom is effectively isolated from continental Europe, but can still successfully fend off the Luftwaffe in the Battle of Britain while it keeps the Axis at bay in North Africa. Invasion of Norway. As Germany has launched a large amphibious operation to occupy Norway, British ground forces are tasked to recapture Trondheim before the main German invasion force can link up with isolated Wehrmacht positions. Okay, so we're up in the north. That's Norway here, and we have British forces reinforcing the Norwegians against the Germans. Norway, April 1940. As Germany launches Operation Weserübung to invade Norway, Britain and France are putting contingency measures in motion to contain the German aggression. And our core units will come from the British. We will have, I believe, also French units, but they're not going to be core. Difficulty, I want to go with, well, I think the default is First Lieutenant. I'm bumping it up to Captain. If we lose the scenario, well, we'll lose it. We'll see how that goes. Mission briefing awaits. Good morning, sir. While the Western Front was mostly static due to the phony war, we have established a naval blockade of Germany. As control of Norway is crucial for access to Swedish iron ore, the Germans reacted with a full-scale invasion of both Denmark and Norway on April 9th. Wehrmacht troops swiftly seized key locations in Norway, including the major seaport of Trondheim. As expected, the Germans did not lose any time to expand their perimeter around the city and may receive further reinforcements via the nearby airfield soon. London had already made plans to react to any German move against Norway, since the occupation of this country would also enable the enemy to sustain far-reaching naval operations from Norwegian bases. Consequently, we have now established bridgeheads at Odalsnes, that's right here, and Namsos, which are at the German flanks. Your primary goal is to recapture Trondheim. This would allow us to block further German advances at the narrowest part of Norway, but be prepared to fend off German relief forces coming from the south of the country. That would be here in Lillehammer. This is the first land contact between our troops and Wehrmacht units in this bloody war, so good luck, Commander. Royal Navy warships will be dispatched for support as soon as possible to deal with Kriegsmarine vessels in the Trondheim Fjord. Okay, so the turn overview. As you can see, we have British and French units. We do gain 15 requisition points per turn for Britain, none for France, although we do start up at 200 for France and 700 for Britain. We have no specializations. These are the things you can gain after scenarios if you gain enough points, and you can pick what you want, kind of like a tech tree if you like. Primary objectives would be to capture Trondheim. Now, where is that at? We saw that before. It's down here. Okay, no special award for that. And the second primary objective would be to destroy units attacking from Lillehammer, 6 of them, and that's way down here in the south. Destroy at least 6 of the core units in the enemy attack group to meet this goal. Then we have 2 secondary objectives. We don't have to do them, but they tend to help. So the first one is prevent enemy buildup near Trondheim. German forces are receiving reinforcements and replacements via the airfield east of Trondheim. Capture it to prevent further buildup. Okay, so if we take that, they can't bring in as many units then. Alright. And then number 2, the secondary objective, sink the cruiser Admiral Hipper, 1 unit. We don't know where it is, but if we do that, we get 100 requisition points. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's start by looking at the map a little bit. We have the minimap here, and if we right-click on it, we can see the actual overlay of the map. So we are green, and we're up here in the north. We're also down here in the south, well, in the west. And anything in blue is Norway, Norwegian units. We don't control them, but they are helping us. Gray is German units there. So a couple here. Coastal Force, I think, and then a couple of infantry units. These are NATO symbols, more or less, anyway. Okay, let's go back into the map then. What we have to do when we start out is to decide what units we're going to bring to bear. We do have a couple already. Here is Trondheim. We can't see everywhere, but we know that the Norwegians have a small unit here, strength 2. Not very good. It's a Norwegian infantry 1940, no experience, and only 2 of them. The numbers in red on the left there, in the middle here, indicate their attack strength, and on the right you get the defense strength in green, and then kind of neutral values in the middle. So that's an infantry unit. They're not going to be able to withstand any kind of German attack by the German infantry units here. 2 of them. We have to help them out. To the north of here we have this town of Steinkjer, and there is a Oerlikon 20mm anti-aircraft / anti-tank unit. That would be helpful. As you can see, it has a black border around it. Well, it's hard to tell, but it does have a black border. That means it's not a core unit. We could only use it here in this battle. We don't get to carry that forward to the next battle, but that's okay still. And to the north of that, we have some French units. 3 of these Chasseurs Alpins 1940, which I guess are mounted units. That's going to be helpful. They have 6 movements, so that's good. They're effective at attacking infantry, not so good at attacking mechanical, armored units. They're pretty good at defense though. And we have 3 of those here. We also have one 75mm artillery piece that is actually transported by a French truck. It can have, it has a range of 5, and without that truck, it would only able to move 1. So it's a good thing we have that truck. Okay, they're up here. That's our one location. We also saw our units way down here. Let's check them out. So these are our units. These are the British units, and 2 of them are core units. Yep, here we go. We have actually some core units. These will carry forward to the next battle as well. They have a yellow border. There's one that does not, so it wouldn't carry forward. So British infantry 1940, I think it's pretty similar to Norwegian. If we actually want to know what their general stats are, we should actually click on this eye, because that will show us more detailed. You can see down here it says 4, but it's really 4 to 8, depending on the cover that the enemy is in. If the enemy is in deep cover, we can do more damage with these units. If the enemy is in open terrain, we can't do as much. So that's something to keep in mind. Now we have 2 of them here, plus a 3rd one, and it's identical. So the 3 of them is going to be pretty good, I think. We also have one 3.7-inch mountain howitzer, movement of 1, mountain howitzer. We can look here. Limited awareness, can't detect mines, light freight, we can unload from train onto any type, and then mountain gun. It can be moved through mountain terrain. And as you can see, we have a lot of mountain terrain here. It's a good thing to have a mountain gun, I think, in this scenario. So let's keep that in mind. And we also have one 2-pounder here, anti-tank unit. Quite slow, only 2 movement, but we'll keep it around. We don't know what the Germans are going to bring as far as tanks, armored units. But we also have 700 points to buy units for. If you check that out here, we can see all the different categories. Recon, infantry, tank, anti-tank, artillery, anti-air, fighter, tactical bomber, and strategic bomber. Now I think, I was looking at this before, I like the heavy infantry here. Now they cost 50 points if you just select them without any transportation. And if you do, they can move 4. 50 is not that much out of 700, but they do cost 4 command points. land command points, and we only have 19, so we got to be careful about that. But one of the benefits of the heavy infantry is that they have a mortar barrage, and that means we can put them away from the enemy. It's kind of a lightweight artillery piece. I'm thinking about something up north here, because we don't have any units at all here. Why don't we deploy a few up in Steinshare? And let's see, let's go back into purchase. If I take one of them, do we need to be able to transport them in a British truck for another 30? But it would cost us one extra 5-4 command point. I don't know about that, because if you look at it, if you think about it here, if we put a heavy infantry here, we're going to push our way down. I don't think the enemy is going to flee suddenly. It's going to be slow going anyway. And I can't imagine we're going to be doing much with that, any heavy infantry, except taking Trondheim, maybe the airport here. So I think we probably should be buying that. So if we get one of those, that would be helpful. Let's go ahead and get one of those. Without transport. Purchase and deploy. I'm going to put them right here. There. South of Steinkjer. And then they have a range of 2 for their mortar. You can see that over there. So that's 1 unit. Now we're down to 15. I think I want to get more units here. There's not quite enough. And we have more infantry units. We have other units as well, but I think it's going to be a lot of fighting in terrain that's going to be favorable for infantry units in those little small towns, Trondheim itself. What about the British engineer? It's only 2 command points. If we check them out here, they have a lot of different skills. Demolitions, bridge builder. I don't know how much we need this. But they do have like this one, digger. Unit increases entrenchment speed of adjacent friendly units. That might be tempting to do. Now also look at their number here. Against infantry units, if they attack an infantry unit that's in cover, they're going to be very effective. I'm tempted to take one. They have 4 movement, just like the heavy infantry. We'll take that and deploy it maybe here. And I think we keep going here. Let's go for purchase. Maybe if you look here, we have to deploy, by the way, our units outside surrounding our cities. And you can check and see what cities you have by holding down spacebar. That ties into the logistics system. Since we control most of the map here, we have a lot of logistics. There's not going to be a problem. The Germans might have a problem with logistics, but we won't in this scenario, I don't think. So let's go back in here. And if we were to get an artillery piece, and there's that mountain howitzer again, 2 points only. It only has a range of 3, as you can see over there. That's not fantastic, but it's going to be pretty short distances here. I feel it might be enough. They're more effective when the enemy is in open terrain. We can get something bigger, a 4.5-inch medium gun, but it's going to cost us 3. 6 in range. It's tempting. Anything we buy here is going to be, we can carry forward to the next scenario, because it's going to be a core unit. This is only 2 though. I'm tempted to do that. I feel I need more units rather than a few strong ones. And do we need to have transport? This is only 1 movement, so we could get a transport on this one. It will cost us 1 extra point, 20 resource points. That doesn't really matter. Or here we can take this one. Maybe we would want to do that to move it more effectively. But I don't know. Let's just buy it now. We can always change our mind if we want to before we start the game. Now we have 3 units. Remember, there is an airport down here. Right here. That means we're going to see German planes. What do we have to fight them off with? Well, only the one Orlikon 20mm. Do we want to get another one? Because right now we don't have an airport. We can't do anything about that. We can't. In fact, as you can see, we don't have any command points for an air force anyway. So if you're going to defend against something from the sky, it's going to have to be something like the Orlikon 20mm. We could buy another one, but we only have 11 points left. Let's say that we buy it. We buy another one of those. Anti-air. And it shows up here, and it also shows up here. Because you can change the weapon. It's basically an anti-air gun mounted onto a truck. So we'll take that. Purchase and deploy. 8 movement is great. 2 in range. What if you put it in the city itself? There. Now, only 7 points left. I'd say we go down to the southwest. Do we need to get more units here? Maybe 1 unit, I'm thinking. We already have a few here. Yeah, it's hard to say what the enemy is going to bring to bear. Remember, they have units coming in from Lillehammer down here. We don't know what's going to happen there. But let's see. Should we maybe go for at least 1 tank? We have the option of getting Matilda, Matilda 2, which would be a good infantry fighting unit as well. And look at the defensive values. Very, very high. But heavy treading means they cannot enter certain terrain types where it's difficult terrain. If you get a cruiser, it has light tread, lower efficiency loss when it goes into terrain. And it's good for attack, but defending it's not as good. And I'm afraid we might lose it. It's 6 points though. What if we take the Matilda now and purchase and deploy and put it back here? We have 1 point left. What can we possibly do with that? Well, let's look. I don't really know. Is there anything that costs 1? 2? Yeah, here are the planes, but they do use up the aircraft command points. I don't think we have an option for anything costing 1. No, nothing costs 1. Everything costs 2. And I hate to leave 1 point on the table. I'm thinking, do we get rid of that Orlikon up there, the anti-aircraft, or do we get rid of the downgrade the Matilda into a cruiser instead? I think I want to keep the Matilda. Let's go up north here. If we don't get the Orlikon, we could save a few points. So I can go ahead and undeploy it. And we can sell it back up. We haven't done anything with it. So we have 5 points. What if I buy something else? It's going to be... I would love to have more anti-air, actually, than less. Now, it costs 4. There are other ones here. They are 2 each. That would definitely be doable. And then we would still have... we have 5 points. We'd have 3 left for something else. That's tempting. What about this 3.7-inch gun? Range of 2. I'm just looking here. 3.7. No transport. So it does 4 damage against infantry units, but that's not the purpose of it. It does 17 against large planes and 10 against small. This Orlikon does 9 and 11. Large planes, I don't know. We're going to have large or small. What about this one? 40 millimeter. It does 11. Costs 2 as well. 2 in movement versus this one is 1. Maybe this one here. They are generally better. You can compare, by the way. Here. Is this better? 40 millimeter against a 20 millimeter. It does 10 against large, the 40 millimeter. Otherwise the same. But it's a little bit weaker against defending. You can see that the numbers on the right in the green section. The left-hand number, if you look at the under the green airplane, 11 means for the 40 millimeter, it's 11 in strength. For the Orlikon 20 millimeter, it's 13. So it's not as good actually, and less movement as well. Why would we want that 40 millimeter? I don't actually know. It doesn't seem nearly as good. It's only slightly better in that it can attack large planes. A little bit higher rating, but yeah, so this one has 17. Yeah, 17 here is, that is strong against large planes. Are we going to see that here? I don't know. But I think I might have to take the 40 millimeter. We'll take the 40 millimeter because of the command points difference. Purchase and deploy. We'll put it here. Okay. And that still leaves us with 3 points. That means I could get another infantry unit. You know what? I might get another one up here. Purchase. Infantry. Yes, 3 points. They have 6 movement, so faster. Let's go ahead and purchase and deploy. Now we're going to have quite a few units here. Maybe it's overkill because it's going to be tough to get through here, but let's go with this. we spend all our command points, we can use our requisition points to repair during the battle. Let's go ahead and go to the actual first turn. Okay, so we're up first. You can see that by the flag. What do we do? Well, in order to help out the Norwegians, I'd say we move up our heavy infantry. There. And we'll switch to mortar. And you can see the odds here. You can see the crosshairs, and to the left there's a British flag. It says 0+. That means we most likely won't do any damage, but maybe. And then the Germans have a 0, means they're not going to do any damage on us. So we could do that attack here now. But let's see, if we attack with the howitzer, also 0+. Maybe I'll attack with them first. Okay, nothing happened, but they did drop in effectiveness, which is like a multiplier on how effective they are in combat, so that's pretty good. And then we'll attack here, still 0. But we did take one out. That plus came into play. Now they're down to 8 in effectiveness. I don't know if that's going to save the Norwegians, but we're doing what we can. The engineers, let's move them down. Let's move these. Oh, they have good movement. We can't quite get there. We'll move down here. And then I think we should move down our anti-air. You can see the white circle. It shows how far it can protect. We'll go down here. Protect the Norwegians and our units. And then the Orlikon will go down here as well. It will still also protect our units. Good. Let's not forget about the French. I'm just going to move them down. These are the mountain units. Chasseurs Alpins. I don't know if you say it like that in French, but I'm guessing. 75mm. Okay, let's move down here. And I don't think there's going to be anybody here, so we should be fine. Okay, we can go to the next unit. They're down here. Okay. Now, there are some Norwegians here. 8, strength 8. I guess they're defending in a way here. I don't think there's going to be anybody here. Why don't we just advance as much as we can to here? And then behind them, we'll bring up our core units. Remember, the yellow outline is what you want to keep track of. We also have our Matilda. That's going to be next. And our howitzer. And we don't have any kind of air support here. We don't have an airport or anything, but that's the way it has to be. No more options to go to the next unit, so I'd say let's see what the Germans do. They're going to go up here. Oh, yeah, they're attacking. They take 1 damage to Germans, but the Norwegians are eliminated. You can see the floating numbers there. They're moving into that bridge. What else? Oh, they're coming down. Take all these small villages out there. 3. Okay, 3 Germans. Died there, I think. Let's see, are they attacking? They are attacking here. Okay, 3 of the Norwegians died, and then 2 of the Germans. And there's another unit here. Are they attacking us? No, they're attacking the Norwegians. No damage to the Germans. And the Norwegians are pushed back. Only 2 in strength left. Oh, they moved over there. Okay, that's good. Oh, here comes something that looks like some kind of attack plane. Dive bomber. They took 2 damage from our defenses there. But we took damage as well. We can check that out in a minute. You can just select here if you want to see the aircraft, or you want to see the units it's attacking. Okay. We have not fulfilled anything yet, and by the way, we have 20 turns to do it. Turn 2 now. Special event, naval support. A Royal Navy group has arrived to aid your operation. As the Germans cannot afford to ignore an aggressive move towards the Trondheim Fjord, we may be able to lure Kriegsmarine ships into battle so that German forces near Trondheim are left without naval fire support. Well, remember, we got to take the Admiral Hipper. What do we have here? One is actually a core unit. It's a Fulmar, which would be a, well, if you don't know what it is, we can look at it here. It looks like it's decent against other aircraft. It will do some damage against land units as well. Okay, that's good. So we can use that one. It does have a range of, well, fuel is counted in number of turns you can stay airborne, and that's 9 for this one. If you look at this one over here, it has a dash. That means it doesn't need to go and refuel. This Fairy Sea Fox, I think that's a recon. Yeah, it can't attack really at all. But that's okay. That would be great to have this one. What does it have here? Flexible pathing. Ah, it can divide its movement points in several moves, which means we can move and then move again the same turn. That's not what you normally can do. Seaplane can be landed on and supplied from seaplane tenders. I don't think we need to worry about that, but there, I see right now there's a ship here. The Friedrich Eckholt. That is a destroyer, DD. What does it do? I'm looking at the red numbers. When it attacks, 16 in strength against large ships, 15 against small. Okay, we have to keep that in mind. We have units over here, though. One aircraft carrier, the aircraft carrier Illustrious. It's going to be mainly useful for us to land on, not to be attacking with. Its numbers are pretty low, 9 to attack a small ship like the Friedrich Eckholt over there, the destroyer. Has 2 slots, though, for planes. Although, oh, I was going to say we don't have anything, but we do have 3 points now. We can buy a plane. Let's do that. Anyway, we also have a BC, a battle cruiser, Renown, so slightly bigger. It's going to be bigger than the Admiral Hipper. It's a cruiser. That's good. 18 against large units, large ships, 20 against small. And it has a large battery, too. Primary guns. We have secondary and primary. If you use the primary, you have to wait a turn to reload. It also has torpedoes. They take even longer to do. And then we have anti-air. Okay. We don't want that to get sunk. That's the one that's going to take out, I would imagine, the Admiral Hipper. Now, there is one there. Let's check out these here. These are destroyer-class ships. Sonar. We can use sonar to detect the submerged units. Oh, yes, we're going to find submarines here, German submarines for sure. So we could do that here within 2 hexes, but then you are spent. You can't do anything else that turn. Do we want to do that now? That could very well be a sub here, I'm thinking. Let's put out a sonar here. No, there's nothing there. So we know within 2 hexes there's nothing. If I move this down here, I cannot attack him. I would have to go here. Maybe I will go there. And you can see the numbers over the Friedrich Eckholt. Means we're not going to do any damage, most likely. But I think I'll go down there anyway. It's slightly out of our range. We'll attack in a minute. Let's take the other destroyer. Move it down. Oh, I can't reach with him. Okay, we'll protect back here then. I don't want anything to get to the Illustrious or Renown. Let me go ahead and attack, and we'll see if we do any damage. No. Okay. So then we have the Renown. It has good guns. I'm looking here. Big gun barrage. Cargo capacity 1. It can actually also have planes on it, I realize. We go down here. We should be fine here, I would think. And let's fire here. Still 0. Why 0 even though it has bigger guns? Well, it moved. And the further away you are, I think, and the more you move, I think, the less damage. No. Oh, yeah, we did 1 damage. Great. And then the Illustrious. We'll put it down here, I think. Protect it here a little bit. Now, I could take this one here and attack with as well, but you can see it only has 1 in the red number there, and they are pretty effective as defending. The green number, the airplane there, is 10. So we don't want to do that. Instead, we should probably, you know what we should do? We should take this plane and fly over here and help any kind of attack that's going on here. If we can reach it, what did we say, 9 turns? I think we said 9 turns. Let's go ahead and go as far as we can. I don't think we're going to find any submerged units, but maybe we'll find out if there's any other surface units. I imagine there are here somewhere. Nothing there. Okay. And this plane, Fairy Sea Fox, can do double move if you wanted to. But I think I'm just going to go here. Okay, if we had more movements, we could move again with them. Okay, I think I've done what I can there. Let's go back down here. So we have... They can move. Oh, wait, we could move up here. Yes, we can now. They attacked. Yes, we can go. Okay, yeah, so we are actually pretty good here. Let's focus on them now. What do we do here? I want to take the city here, Dombos, but I don't know if anybody's there. I imagine there's somebody there. And I can't reach anyway. Let's take our expendable unit, the non-core. Move here. Let's not attack yet, because we're going to try to get units in a better position before we attack. They can move up there. Do we want to take Matilda? Matilda, if you look at the numbers down there, against infantry it's 10, but I want to double check that. 10 to 6. If the enemy is in open terrain, it does more damage, and I think we can look here by selecting this and pressing this. We can see that it's open terrain here, and they don't get any modifier there to their attack. So we'll take the Matilda, I think. And you can see we get a blue cross. That means there's some Norwegians here helping us actually in the attack. We will do 3 damage just from having Matilda and the Norwegians here. That's good news. As I move up this unit here, and if I'm to attack now, I would take 2 losses. But if we were to attack Matilda first, they would lose efficiency. They are not entrenched, and you can see that here, this value. They're not entrenched at all. 0. So they're not. That's not going to help them because they just moved in and attacked the Norwegians. Okay, what else do we do? How far can we get here? This artillery piece can move all the way over here, but it cannot fire. It's using the truck. But I think we should do that. Get ready for that. Moving up the infantry as well, and also the anti-tank. Now, let's go ahead and attack here. Who do we attack with? Oh, now we have better odds, right? We have 2 units helping. Directly opposite, that's better, but it's still 2 units attacking there. So, 3 plus, 1 plus. But if we attack Matilda first, we can do better. And I took 3. We took none. It's down to 5. And I bet you anything, 3-0 now. 3-1. Okay, we'll attack with this one here. 4. He might retreat. He did not retreat, so we can actually kill him now and gain experience for our unit here. 0 damage for us, that's good. And then 1. Excellent. And since we won, we drove them away, we can take their spot that they were in. I'm going to do that. I should have waited to move this one. Maybe I've been able to move in here. Okay. Let's go to the next unit. And that would be up here. It's going to be tight quarters. There is that plane. If we select the screen here, I mean the air screen, we have 8. So we did 2 damage on them. But our unit here now, the heavy infantry, is damaged, but it's still in okay shape. We can spend points, and we can spend elite points or regular. Elite points means they keep their experience. Right now, you can see they have a little bit of experience. They used a gun. And I could move them down here. If I do that, we could attack there. I think we need to keep the pressure up. But before we do that, before we attack like that, let's go ahead and see if we can use that mountain howitzer. We'll attack here right away. And if nothing else, well, they did lose 1. They lose that efficiency. Now, if I move down here, 3, and then 1 for them. What if I use my heavy infantry? That's pretty good. 3 and 0. Well, we could use the mortar, but it's not going to do nearly as much damage. I think we'll attack here first. Let's move down our engineers, because they're right next to them. They need to be over here, basically, to provide that little blue cross, the improvement to the odds. But I think we can still do damage here. If we can drive them away, maybe we can bring in our infantry. Down to 7. And then you. I want them to retreat, is what I want. They're retreating now. Now, since they did that, we could take them instead. Move down. Is somebody here? I don't think there's anybody that... No, there's somebody there. And we're going to be surprised if we attempt that. Let's go down here. Yes, there was somebody there. Good thing you get ambushed otherwise. We could attack, but I'm not ready for that quite yet. This 40mm gun will protect us, well, somewhat anyway. The Orlicon will also protect us. We'll stay here, yep, that's good. And now let's move down the French. We're just going to bring him into the battle. Okay, that takes care of that. Now, let's not forget, we have 3 here. I almost forgot that. Let's go ahead and purchase a plane. Fighter? Maybe a fighter. It looked like we want to take out their dive bombers, Stukas, or whatever they have. So if we do a fighter, we need something that can start and land from a ship. Like maybe the Sea Gladiator or the Fulmar here. 3 points. You know, might be what we want. Yes, I think we'll take another one of those. It'll be a core unit. Let's take that, and we'll put it here. Okay, good. Now if I select them here, you can see it's here. Let's go ahead and deploy it. Excellent. Can't move the same turn, though. What else can we do? Well, I could attack here if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that, and that's pretty much it. We have the anti-air, but I can't do much about that. And the Orlicon, can't do anything about that. Them, no, we don't want to attack. Okay, that's it. Let's go to the next turn. But I'm out of time. I'll come back next time, guys, and we'll play more of this battle here against the Germans. We'll see if we can find that Admiral Hipper. But that's for next time. Bye, guys.